I'm Mark Daniels, a local radio sports talk host in Orlando, and I remember back in 1994 when the World Cup came here, but I go back actually a few years earlier when Orlando was in the process of trying to become one of the World Cup cities to host games, and it was exciting, and I'm not quite sure people realized just how big an event it was going to be. And then when you look at when Orlando landed games at the time in the Central Florida area, the Magic were still relatively new. They were still around just 3 or 4 years, and here comes this big event in '94, which was, I think, the Magic's 5th or 6th year. And I think Orlando began to realize this was more than just a soccer tournament. This was an amazing worldwide event, and we were fortunate to get some incredible teams here. And I think anybody that was in Orlando that time remembers the Dutch and the fans from the Netherlands that came here and just had such a great atmosphere and a big party that went on for days, and they had some success. And you know, the vision of the fans celebrating down on Church Street before games and after games was a great memory for that. But I just remember the attention that Orlando got. As much as we've grown to become an international city for all these years, I really think you look back and maybe that was one of the first significant sporting events that made Orlando be viewed as something more than just a theme park town. And people knew obviously about all of our theme parks, but suddenly it was, here's Orlando, Florida, where these World Cup games are being held, and it kind of elevated the perception of our city. And as the Magic continued their success, I think raised the sports view of Orlando. But it was a great effort by so many people to get the games here. And as you look back at the amount of cities that went after those games, to be chosen really was a great compliment to the group in Orlando that worked so hard to get that. And then to have exciting games and to have the folks from the Netherlands have such a great time here. So I remember that vividly. It was a great summer in '94, and I really think it set Orlando apart of being that town viewed as the home of Mickey Mouse, and kind of put us on that sports map a little bit more for what became such a memorable event in Central Florida.